having the Way of the Dragon is definitely good for the rest of the team. It doesn't have to rely on to Lancelot all too much. But in the late stages of the game, I think that that is a very good utility to have. But that will be too much chaos for a Lancelot. Lancelot will have too much to kind of deal with. You're going to have to work for macro. You're going to have to look at the objectives of the game, Lord and Turtle alike. And you also have to look out for if whether my Cho actually went in or not.
Exactly, too much to handle for Zach alone. But this time around here, in a match point game between Kingdom Esports and Ignite Gaming, Ignite Esports still will be on the first priority pick. So are they going to ban the Kimmy this time around, or it will be open once again? And we have seen, of course, in the first game, FMM chose to have the Kimi on the first priority pick against the side of Ignite Gaming. So far here, Baksha has been taken down. Is it going to be a Kimi once again here for the side of Kingdom Esports? That is going to be the question. Yasin Shin has not been banned as well.
Trooper reporting for duty.
Kimi indeed.
Your team is picking.
It's still going to be a Kimi. KE, they put a lot of emphasis and priority onto that Kimi. But that also means that the Yasin Shin is available for IG to pick up.
Grok as well. I'm looking forward for the Grok as well here for Rapidude. If Air is going to go for a Grok and the Yasin Shin here, man, early game also is incredibly good here for the side of IG. So far right now, let's see.
It feels as though they're kind of forced into that Grok. But it's not a bad thing per se. I would say that picking up a Grok for themselves is still good. As much as I want to see the Franco onto Rapidude. But I think that they are forced into that hand. If you don't pick up the Grok, they will pick it.
Oh, there you go. Speaking of which, it is now going to be a Grok here for the side of IG. Lancelot, however, it's going to be a priority here for Zach. Man, Zach's Lancelot in the first game, man, not too shabby here. He's pretty good, showing pretty good performance there. It will be taken in, but of course, Kingdom Esports have a chance to take that Yasin Shin themselves, but instead, a Hayabusa and the Hylos.
There we go. This time, the Hylos was not stolen away in some sense. Okay, it's not say stolen away. It's completely different. Because in the previous game, the Kimi was going to the side of Kingdom, yes, and then... Oh no, wait, yeah, Hylos was stolen away by Ignite. So this time, so this time Kingdom actually picked up the Hylos for themselves. So that worked out. That worked out great.
There's a switch of heroes between these two roamers here. Lalsi this time around going to be on the Hylos and Rapidude here on the Grok. Now the Eve as well, double down. Wait, Abstract, are we seeing 100% Eve pick here so far?
I would think so. I think so, yeah. It's 100% pick for today.
Yeah, this is really high priority as well, especially in the second phase of the drafts here. Now, Ignite Gaming, they have the power already in the early stage of the game. So we have seen incredibly good grab performances here and how it controls the aggressiveness and the evasion as well across the map. So dangerous grabs, remember, ladies and gentlemen, here in our game 2. Advantage as well here for those surprises across the map here, especially for the side of IG.
Uranus is now taken out of the equation. So no more annoying Uranus, but there is still an Esmeralda that can potentially be picked out though. But the question, of course, if whether KE would even bother about that. At this point in time,
my kids,
no.
Your team
it is going to be the Alice that's thrown away. Yuda did see some, to a certain level of success from Yuda, but it's not a problem per se.
Actually, Harith is pretty much open as well, if I'm not mistaken here. Harith and the Eve combination is pretty good. We have seen the RWM and the Zaman Force can deal a lot of damage. So even though, of course, the Glorious Pathway is there, but with the combo coming in between these two, they can double down here with the Magic Burst.
Yeah,
so far here, on the other side though, Kingdom Esports, they had Hayabusa. Again, the pick of play is incredible, especially against the Eviers, just standing there once the ultimate been committed. But, you know, shields are there as well.
Oh, you are right, actually. With the fact that they picked up the Phobias, they are leaning over to the Harith. So, this is an area denial game from IG. This is a hands-down area denial game from IG. So, it kind of forces Kingdom to want to play that Harith. Right? But this is a lot of area denial from IG even for themselves. So, even if the Zaman Force is dropped out from KE, like if they want to steal it, I think that is only gonna be a bait.
Intentions paid.
So they need an answer.
There you go.
The
That's their
answer
call.
is gonna be that Ruby.
Yep. And Esmeralda as well. If the Harith has been picked, so Esmeralda is pretty good matchup as well. So will this be our prediction here, Abstract? Will this be a Harith pick coming in from RG, or
It
they're
has
going
to
to
be.
go for traditional marksman here to scale their game, have DPS damage instead? But so far, Kingdom Esports knows about this one, very much prepared for this Esmeralda pick as well.
I think they have to. They definitely
There you
have
go.
to. Yeah. So Harith played out. This is quite literally a very good lineup that allows IG to unlock Seiji and be able to pop off the Zaman Force and the Chrono Dashes for days. Even though KE have got answers coming in from actually quite a lot of stuff, right? Even when it comes down to the Falling Star Moon, it could be the entire kit of Ruby, it could even when it comes down to FMM that just shoots a rocket right in your face. It's kind of tough to tell how the team fight is going to be unless we look at the gold from both teams.
Now, speaking of which, yes, really difficult, but now for Ignite Gaming, I can see that these are their comfort picks. Remember, of course, Rapidut was in the high-lows here. I do believe Rapidut really shines for those aggressive roams. Now you have the Grok. And now Seiji was a little bit somehow cheeky on the Cho pick. Now you have Harith with his very staple in the gold lane. So Ignite Gaming here, having this lineup right now, it's much easier to navigate, to use compared to their draft on the first game.
Honestly, I really like the lineup that Ignite has gotten for themselves. I think this is a lot easier draft as compared to the previous game. This game is more of drop ultimate, play for area, zone people away. Anyone that comes in, kill them. Anyone that runs away, let them be. Because we won in the area, we won in the objective, we'll take the objective.
Oh man, this is it. Match point game, one game away here for the side of Kingdom Esports to move forward, but Ignite Gaming with their draft, with the comfort picks. It is going to be a big challenge indeed for the side of Kingdom Esports to seal the deal, and now Little Wanderer will be the priority here. And it is really taken here for the side of Kingdom Esports this time around, and I do love how both teams here rotate for those objective games.
I think shouldn't be too big of a problem in this early start. There are definitely some aggressiveness from Ignite that they are trying to put out. However, this is not exactly a very early game draft from both teams, so I would appreciate a little bit of back and forth from both.
And I thought this Ruby will be actually on the EXP and the Esmeralda on the gold, but then again, still this is going to be a matchup here. Ignite Gaming right now, looking forward if they be able to bounce back here. Again, you've mentioned, of course, their draft right now is much easier compared to the game one, and I do agree with that one, Abstract. Now, all is kind of slow compared to the first game. And again, Ignite Gaming, they have to rely so much on those ultimates here. Same thing for Kingdom Esports. So both teams here trying to take their time for that power spike gain. And now level 4 already here for the side of Insanity. They have now the ultimates really needed here later for those turtle takedown.
Turtle currently popping out at the bottom. We've got Lolzy that is just going to be opening up the map just a tad little bit. They managed to find exactly where Zac is. Insanity have also found himself right at the bottom, right where the turtle is. Everyone is more or less shown themselves except for the top lane, gold lane. They're going to be playing for themselves. In the meantime, Yuda doesn't have a lot of HP left, going in for more and more demonic forces right into the face of Lolzy. And Lolzy, he does have a couple of healing potentials, so he's going to be safe and sound at least for now. But a good route down onto Rapidut, but not quite enough to take him down just yet. As a Phantom Execution from Zac pulls him right out of the fight, while Kingdom Esports gets the turtle.
Wow, beautiful. Of course, Kingdom Esports play here, just zoning away Ignite Gaming. But of course, give credit also to Ignite Gaming to scarcely, of course, escape on that skirmish play here. So far, no deaths whatsoever. So it is very important as well for both teams here to secure the first blood into this game.
That's a 3-man that's going to be slamming themselves right into the face of Lolzy. And even when it comes down to Wild Charge, that's a lot of HP that dropped onto him, allowing Blade to draw first blood.
That is indeed a first blood here, but they are now Giving Grant here the gold onto the top side. Now response coming in from Ignite Gaming at this moment in time. But look at here, the Esmeralda way off here. Trying to cut the waves and now going to go for the rotate. You can really tell here that Kingdom Esports are looking for a play.
There's still going to be a standoff between these two teams. Do note that none of these players and none of these heroes have got any form of power spike just yet. It will be a long, grueling team fight if we ever get into one. But for now, we want to look out for the junglers. They are the one with the highest kill pressure per se, with the Hayabusa and the Lancelot.
Yeah, slow-paced game so far right now. Taking their time here. And 35 seconds until the next objective will spawn in the game. And Hunter Strike already here. The side of Yon now. They have the damage. They have the penetration. Kingdom Esports looking for a play here. And let's see if they are going to be successful into the dive. Ultimate has been used here.
But it doesn't seem like it managed to pay any much dividends for either one of these teams. Once again, back to the standoff.
Yeah.
And they're just wanting to get themselves some of these river control, but not much damage for them to realistically be able to really establish the control. The bottom lane, or rather the turtle, is about to come out though. So that should spur on some trouble. And it should encourage some of these unwanted fights.
Speaking of which, this is actually a fight that both teams want here. Oh, Reward Manipulation has been used.
As Lolzy is going to be opening things up, the wall charge lands onto Lolzy. All the way to the back line, Zack was hoping they will be able to land on something, but in the meantime, that is going to be the demonic forces that's just going to happen over and over again, allowing Yon to pick up the first kill. Two-person right in the midst of everything. As the comeback, Wolf King connects up to two, allowing Kingdom to get a total of 3 kills in that fight without losing anyone. This spurs on for Kingdom to run right into the face of Ignite, pushes Seiji further on backwards.
Wow, perfect. I am offended there. Caught 2 against the side of Ignite Gaming and pushes through as well on the pressure against the side of Ignite Gaming. This is really indeed great for Kingdom Esports to set the tone in the early stages of the game. And look at how they rotate here. The gold lane coming in from Kingdom Esports top into the turtle fights. Perfect timing plus a bonus on the bottom lane outer chart as well. Wow, they are in sync here when it comes to objectives.
We're back again onto the stalemate. Even though Kingdom Esports have won the previous fight, and they managed to snag a 2400 gold lead, but they didn't win in any form of objectives as of yet. The top lane T1 is still there, middle lane T1 is still there. The only thing that is realistically working out for Kingdom is that they have two turtles and a single turret down in the bottom.
Now, another turret on the top as well.
That's
oh, man.
Good, but why didn't Ignite have any form of defense up in the top lane?
Exactly. Good question. That's right. Why? And now Ignite Gaming here, they want to double down to go for a skirmish play instead. But is this really worth it here? Kingdom Esports slowly but surely here, securing the map control. Lolzy trap here, but still too tanky here at this moment.
This is a very unfortunate macro game from Ignite. They spent a lot of time dealing with Lolzy, which has a very thick amount of HP, right? So he effectively just wasted, I think, 20 seconds of the farming time of Seiji. And and during that time, the Ruby is just all the way up the top lane.
Yeah.
Yon was farming as well. Wow. So pause 1 versus pause 1 style, Ignite is definitely slower. We were looking at 2300 gold advantage for Kingdom. Now it has increased by 3000 just from a single standstill from Hylos.
Even though they don't have so much skills here, again, objective is still one of the key things to win the game. And Kingdom Esports is leaning forward into that victory condition. And now Ignite Gaming, their call is usually here to go for a team fight, but then they have to look out for the map pressure as well. The only thing that they can go here to respond on this lane pressure is none other than Zack. But look at this one again, another defenseless
uncontested
lane.
Objective down in the bottom lane T2.
Oh my, poor Frog.
Poor Gamabuta. But to be fair though, I can understand that Ignite Gaming wants to put a lot of priority in the middle lane T1. They understand that they really need that purple buff to enable the Lancelot. So they put most of their resources down in the middle lane. They may lose a couple of T2s. That T2, actually, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't matter. But what matters is the fact that they managed to find a kill down on over to Lolzy. Extended the gameplay time in the middle lane for a tad bit longer now.
Okay, Lolzy has been taken down, but still, it is going to be Kingdom Esports. Sacrifice they're willing to take here. Map control is in their favor right now, even though they're short in numbers. Look at how they are responding here for the rotations coming in from Ignite Gaming. Still, they doesn't care here. Ignite Gaming here become reactive already for this aggressiveness coming in from Kingdom Esports. Now the top, the bottom. Still, even though the mid lane charge is still standing, they have to look out this lane pressure on both sides.
4 men hunkering down in the middle lane. Ignite definitely knows what they're defending for.
Lolzy again.
He got singled out, but it doesn't really quite matter for now because Kingdom Esports, they're gonna be fighting back. They managed to land a traction pulse. It pulls Ignite Gaming into uncharted waters for now, but doesn't matter too much as they're still relatively tanky.
And it is going to be difficult indeed for the side of Ignite Gaming. We are seeing here that Zach is forced to create the lane, and now he is going to go back here. Again, Hayabusa, so much mobility here. We've seen also Esmeralda trying to go for a pressure on the bot side. And Ignite Gaming, they cannot afford to lose another outer turret here. They are double down with their defense in the middle lane. Now the Lord is now spawning here into the pits. This is the question, will they be able to go for the Lord Dance this time around? They are pretty much ready. They have the blue buff. And this is going to be now the position very crucial for both teams. Rapidoots. I'm expecting, of course, here to set the tempo, but look at this damage!
The damage is going to be landed right down on Zack as well. Blade, not a good start to this upcoming objective fight. Once Insanity jumps all over to the back, hoping they will be able to get a kill on Blade, but never mind! Rapidoot! He did manage to land with a wild charge in order to extend the timer on the Blade, ensuring that he stays alive. Yuda throws his body in order for the rest of Ignite Gaming to stay alive. It's a 2-for-1 trade.
2-for-1 trade plus the mid turret plus the Lord here. Still Kingdom Esports gains much on that skirmish play. Ignite Gaming, it's really difficult here. I can see somehow the pressure building up here, Abstract.
It's gotta be that bruising that Yon did. Just touching onto 2, putting Zack as well as the Yi in such a difficult spot. Blade did stay alive throughout all of that, but the main thing is taking Blade and Zack out of the team fight. At that point in time, it really didn't even matter if they killed Zack or killed Blade or not. The fact is, they won in that team fight. They managed and forced Blade and Zack back home. It is essentially a free Lord.
Yeah, and a free turret as well here in the middle lane. Now it is going to be marching through as well. Here at the bottom side of the map, Ignite Gaming. Again, on the draft here, we mentioned, of course, the Grok, the Harith. Early game domination is in their favor, but Yuda has been caught here as well. Now the pressure in the middle lane.
Yuda almost down, but Yon did not execute onto the Oogie Shadow kill onto Yuda just yet, reserving that for a tad little bit. At this point in time, Ignite have yet to really play a flawless team fight.
Yeah. We haven't seen that synergy, Abstract.
Not quite yet, but it's about time with a 2-man knockup, but no follow-ups per se. They, from the side of Ignite, they are still playing very, very careful. They know that with a Lord marching in, they need to reserve some of their utilities and some of their power in order to really do something. As the Zaman Force is going to be dropped, he wants to focus on FMM, and indeed he will. But at almost the cost of losing his own life, he's still alive until now. Grant brings him down. The rest of the members of Kingdom Esports rushes himself right in the face of Ignite. It splits the fight into 2. Zack gets a kill down on the Yon. It repels the members of the Kingdom as they are trying to do their best, while Grant follows through with the comeback Wolf King as well. As I'm offended, he continues to stays himself right onto this fight. Zack finally brings Grant down to Saturday, the next one onto the chopping block. Ignite effectively dispatched 4.
Man, what a long team fight here, and it was really taking time for Ignite Gaming to defend their base. Kingdom Esports here, even though of course they have been eliminated on the siege. The inhibitor charge here very low already. Still, it is going to be Kingdom Esports here. having the upper hand. Ignite Gaming, they need those team fight wins. Now this is going to be their chance here to go for the objective gaming. Now they managed to take down Outer Stars on the bottom side. We are now looking here for Ignite Gaming trying to bounce back into the game. Kingdom Esports managed to pierce through here, but this time around, Lord will respawn under 10 seconds. Very important objectives here for both teams.
If Ignite Gaming were to take up this Lord, it will help them to balance things out just a tad bit. While in the meantime, if Kingdom Esports were to take this Lord, then all of the T3 turrets of Ignite Gaming will be in shambles.
For sure.
While Lolzy opens up the carpet, they were trying to look for an opportunity on Ignite, but a great retreat from Ignite disengages them from the battle before even getting caught. That's some of the ultimate utilities that Kingdom have lost, while Ignite Gaming, they still reserve many.
Yeah, correct. I think this is the perfect time here to force this Lord fight here, but they are being careful at this moment here. You know, the ultimates are in the cooldown. This is the perfect timing here for Ignite Gaming to force this Lord dance.
As the Lord pulls out the rest of the members from Kingdom, and that's Rapitude with one man knocked up. It's just going to be focusing onto the front lines as much as possible. One Insanity focusing onto the back. Blade doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but the Nature's Prayer is just going to be concentrating onto that fight. We're going to be looking at Sage. He doesn't have the summon force to drastic the way and ensuring that he wants to run away, but Insanity not going to allow him to do that. The main thing right now, we look at Yuda. He's still in the midst of all the battle, hoping he will be able to get a kill on FMF, but he wasn't able to follow up through. While FMF brings him down to the grave, while Grunt follows through in the hopes that he will be able to stop Ignite from going back home.
No way! The sustain coming in from Kingdom Esports, and I thought that was the perfect time for Ignite Gaming to win the skirmish play. They want to end this!
Down the glorious pathway, right in the face of Blade. Lolzy may lose his health, but that is all about the immortality. With the first man down to Rapitude, the next one coming in! Over to Yves, leaving Zack all alone as it's defended in uncharted territory.
Lolzy is still here. The buff duration continues. Kingdom Esports moves forward into the playoffs.
Kingdom Esports have broke their own curse of losing game twos. It is quite something to watch.
Oh man, different when it comes to playoffs here. The cursor's broken, Abstract. It's not going to be game one only anymore. It's a sweep. And now Kingdom Esports here proving their way to continue into the next stage of the playoffs. And they are going to fight later on Flash SG.
The Kingdom has unfortunately snuffed out the ignited flames, the torch of the century coming in from Ignite Gaming. And unfortunately, their journey has now come to the end here in MPL SG Season 10. As much as possible, we'll love to see them back at MPL SG Season 11 again through the Challenger qualifiers.
Well, literally, that was the final ignition.
That was the final ignition.
The final ignition, indeed. And Kingdom Esports here now going to continue moving forward into the tournament. And unfortunately, of course, it is the end for Ignite Gaming. Even though they have the Grok, they have the Harith, they have the comfort picks already here, Kingdom Esports proves themselves to be the better team here. And now, exciting part is now going to commence here, Abstract. It is now the semifinals match we are going to look forward later on.
Yep, the upper bracket semifinals is now part of the double elimination bracket. The end of this upper bracket semifinals, we will see the two competitors in the upper bracket grand finals, and that means that it moves on to the next, which is the tournament grand finals after.
Oh my, very exciting here. But again, we have to recap of what we have seen a while ago. It is really great for Kingdom Esports to show their finesse. And speaking of finesse, FMM here on the mid. We have talked about this guy. The moment he joined against Season 10, another role. He managed to secure it now MVP on the Kimi here. He's everywhere. He's on the roam. He's on the gold now in the middle lane, still performing very well. He's well-rounded as an esports player here. FMM on the Kimi once again. 417 on the KDA. His kill participation again. just skyrocketed here when it comes to percentage. He's everywhere. He's always present when it comes to a team fight. And now FMM here, the rest of Kingdom Esports moving forward. Again, this is incredibly good. So far, the series one that we have witnessed, quick, fast-paced. But here in the second series, methodical here.
It's Mage Day.
Mage Day.
It's Mage Day.
Eve and now
Eve
Kimi.
and then Kimi, yeah. In fact, it's double Eve and double Kimi. All the MVPs are credited over to the Mage, which really is a testament to how much influence a Mage plays, or rather the mid laner plays in a game.
Yeah, we have to look out for that one. And now here is the game stats that we have witnessed a while ago. Right now, FMM proved himself here. That is going to be a mystery shop. They want to have the great itemization in the early stage of the game. Lolsey, however, of course, you have mentioned he has many deaths. But then again, that is his role. He is the sustain guy here for the side of Kingdom Esports. But on the other side, though, Rapid, I expected him actually to be very aggressive here. But it's not going to be easy as well to burst through against Kingdom Esports. Blade did pretty well also on that Eve. But then again, it falls short here to this moment. Zach did his best on Lancelot here, damage-wise, but it's still falls short here when it comes to the stats against the side of Kingdom Esports.
I gotta have to say though, as much as possible, Ignite Gaming, they played their hearts out. Their defense was impeccable. But of course, there are some mistakes that were made that had to put them in a really tough spot by the end of the day. I gotta have to give it to them. They did what they could. They understood their power spikes. They understood when is the vital time for them to fight, right? Early game, not much of that because they know they need to cook. They need to let Seiji cook. And they fought when Seiji is ready, right? Divine Glaive, Feather of Heaven, Starlim Scythe, Holy Crystal, all that is necessary.
Yeah, but that during that last skirmish play, he wasn't expecting Kingdom Esports to survive. That no casualties in that engagement, and that was really the dagger in that game right now against the side of Ignite Gaming. So Ignite Gaming, on the other hand, it falls short, unfortunately, here. As you can see, when it comes to objectives here, big factor as well. It was also the storyline on the first series here. He who controls the map early game controls the whole skirmish play, the whole game itself, actually. Kingdom Esports right now here did their best in that department. Even though we have seen a low-scoring game on the early to middle stage of the game, they have secured so much when it comes to start objective as well as turtle buffs.
Macro game was the name of the game for Kingdom Esports, right?
Yep.
We saw the amount of turrets that was taken away, or rather, the amount of turrets that Kingdom took away from Ignite. And unfortunately, some of these objectives, standing objectives, were literally, quite literally, given.
Yeah.
I didn't like the sound of that, despite the fact that they really prioritized the middle lane T1s. I think that is fair and understandable, but to just give it away and didn't try to either contest or to retake, do some trades, I find that to be a massive, massive pity.
Oh man, this is it. Let us, of course, recap the highlights there between these two teams, Kingdom Esports in that game.